Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Hayden and Mitch with the Hill Pursuit podcast. And Mitch, man, we just had a great one with our special guest.
Yeah, it was awesome. He's not new to the podcast. He's been on before, and we had him on last time when he was going for the Guinness Book of World Record pull up in 24 hours. So we had him back on today, and you can kind of brief on it real quick.
Yeah, yeah, it was incredible. So if you haven't heard that episode, we have had an episode with him before. His name's Ken Rogers from Progressive Strength Project, and it sounds crazy to even say, but he is about to absolutely massacre the world record for pull-ups in 24 hours. Currently, the record is 7,715 pull-ups in 24 hours, and that's a Guinness Book of World Records attempt, and that's currently held by Brandon Tucker. And Mitch Ken just went through about, I don't even know how many variables he's got working in his favor to completely destroy that record. But it's wild to say we just had him on the show. It was an incredible show. If you're listening, this is definitely one you want to listen to. He is about to break the world record for pull-ups in 24 hours, and you're going to hear how he trained. We talk about how he decided to fuel differently, how he's planning his work to rest ratios, whether or not he's doing EMOMs, his support team. We talk about his weight right now as it relates to his first two attempts. So yeah, like, dude, let's remember he attempted this twice before. He got 4,000 and change on two separate occasions, and now he's attempting to get pretty much another 3,000 to 3,500 pull-ups than he's ever done before, which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember which episode it was that he was on the first one, but if it's your first time listening, I would definitely go back, urge you to listen to that one. And from talking to him from the first time to this time, you can definitely tell. I think just the focus that he has and
Absolutely.
just the changes that he made in his life and his training. Um, yeah, I think it's a good recipe.
Just an absolutely incredible episode. Not to mention, he's doing this for an organization called Hope for the Warriors. He's fundraising as much money as he can. It's 100% nonprofit, and all the money gets donated to veterans and families of veterans who experience PTSD. So it's an incredible cause. He's already raised a ton of money, like well over $1,000, creeping up towards 2 to 3, I think, if I remember correctly. So we will link that fundraising page in the show notes. So please listen. It's an incredible cause, and also please consider donating as well. Housekeeping for us, Hill Pursuit's got a lot of things going on. If you are listening, thank you. Mitch, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we're on this is episode 67. Is that right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Absolutely.
67. That's crazy. So we got a lot of stuff happening. Follow us on all the socials, please. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We recently got a LinkedIn. And also, as of today, the Hill Pursuit store, the merchandise store, the gear store is completely live. You can grab some shirts, hats, training gear, any and everything you want. And we would really appreciate that, just kind of supporting the small business that we do have. So thanks in advance if you consider that. We'll also link that in the show notes. But I don't really have much else. This is an incredible episode. This is one you don't want to miss. This is one you're going to want to tell people that you listened to, because in literally less than 5 or 6 days, he will have the world record for pull-ups completed in 24 hours.
Yeah, December 10th.
December 10th, 10 a.m. Eastern. He starts 7 a.m. out his way. He's somewhere in California, but he's starting 7 a.m. his time. But if you're on the East Coast, which most of our listeners are, ironically, 10 a.m. Eastern, and we're going to be posting all of his live feeds, his streams, posting updates to the Hill Pursuit Instagram and social media accounts. So please continue to follow. Listen to this episode. This is an incredible episode. Your jaw will be on the floor listening to how he trains and what he's planning to do. Mitch, you got anything else?
Just listen to the podcast.
Listen to the podcast. We hope you enjoy it. This is episode 67 of the HillPursuit podcast. All right, here we are. The boys are back in town. We got all three of us together.
Let's go.
We got a pretty good one today. So I guess let's just hop right into it without further ado. We got Kenneth from Aggressive Strength Project attempting a world record this weekend. Ken, first of all, how's it going? Tell us what's going on this weekend.
Well, I'm reattempting the Guinness Book of World Record for most amount of pull-ups in 24 hours for the third time now.
Pretty epic.
Third time. Second.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm, man.
It's gonna happen.
I feel like we could ask you literally a million questions about how you're even attempting to do this, to be honest. But I don't know. Let's just catch up first. What's been going on in your life? How are things?
I mean, dude, it's been crazy. I mean, I started my own company about a year and some change ago called Progressive Strength Project. Been rolling with that. We recently just revamped a little nutrition program as well with HillPursuit and been working with VictoryMultisport. It's been a crazy good year, so no complaints on my end.
Yeah. Mitch, do you have any like big questions for Ken in terms of like just broad stuff you want to ask him? I mean, I could literally go a million different directions.
No, I think we'll just kind of let it flow where it goes. Like you said, I think I could ask him a million questions. I haven't talked probably since the last time we tested, so I didn't even. So let's just roll.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so Ken, you have to tell us before we talk about your first two attempts.
Mm-hmm.
What's the record now and who has it?
The record is 7,715 and it's held by Brandon Tucker.
Do you have any insight as to like how he did that, what his strategy was?
Yeah, so I actually listened to a podcast with him briefly. What was that, about a month ago? So how he approached it was he trained for like 13 months or something like that, but I won't go into his training program, but he basically approached it with a EMOM, every minute on the minute approach, where he did 90 minutes of work and a 15-minute break. And I think his rep range that he was trying to aim for was 8 pull-ups every minute, where he broke it up into 2 small sets of 4 pull-ups every 30 seconds. Gotcha. And he did that. Okay.
He did what?
He did that throughout the entire day.
Yeah. And that comes out to 7,715.
Yeah. And some change. Yeah.
That's pretty intense. All right. Yeah. So are you pulling a strategy from that structure, or do you have like your own stuff in mind?
So, okay. So obviously, I'm different than he is. I didn't train in that sense to do the same, I guess you could say, every minute on the minute, but I definitely set myself up to have a lot more, I guess you could say, extended micro breaks. I went out the gate way too hot last time, as I know you guys both know. I was way above pace for where I needed to be. And this year I'm going to pace myself out a lot more because it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? So I broke it down into basically like 100-minute segments where I'm going to be trying to rest and work in between each one. So I don't want to call it every minute, but I'm still going to be having every minute I'm still going to try and hit a pull-up goal. So.
Gotcha.
Where were you at last time when you shut it down?
4,216 at 11 hours and 57 minutes.
Hours into it.
Okay. Yeah. So moving a little bit too quickly. Gonna pace this out. Yeah. So I'll just briefly touch on what my plan is, at least for right now. So I pick it up into basically 5 separate little segments at the beginning. So I'm gonna aim for the first 100 minutes. I'm gonna try and hold 6 pull-ups every minute. Then the second 100 minutes, I'm going to try and hold 7, and then 8, and then go back down to 6, and then 7, and then 8, and just alternate between the 3. I chose this mostly just because I wanted a little bit more of a mental break. I wanted to give myself a little bit more cushion for obviously when things got tough towards the end. And then just giving myself 15-minute breaks in between each one of those 100-minute segments just to refuel and try and get some solid food in me instead of just relying on mostly liquid calories like I did last year.
Because this is 24 hours. I mean, liquid calories is great for, a marathon, or, I mean, even something like a triathlon, but 24 consecutive hours. Yeah. So what's your fueling strategy then in terms of the solid food you're thinking about?
So solid food is going to be, well, it's kind of solid food. It's going to be cream of rice or baby food, and I'm going to mix that with honey and salt. And then I'll be supplementing these other like fig bar things that are a little bit higher in fat, but I just didn't want to be consuming all that sugar because I did experience some slight GI distress about 6 or 7 hours in, which obviously, the clock is running no matter what, even if you got to go to the bathroom. So I got to try and avoid that as much as I can this year.
Yeah.
And then liquid calories, I plan on consuming about 25 grams of carbohydrates because I kind of mapped out everything this year. I took a lot more metrics from last year in comparison to this year. I've been monitoring how many calories I burn while doing pull-ups because obviously I've been training for this for a while. So I'm going to try and consume, I think, around 25 grams of carbohydrates every 15 or 20 minutes in liquid form. And then I'll consume about 50 grams of carbohydrates during that smaller, more extended break.
And that's like what, 15 minutes, you said? 15-minute little break?
Where I'm going to try and ice and wear my compression sleeves. And then also, I'm going to have people with me the entire time. So that's another big difference from last year. I have a couple people that are going to be with me the entire time. Massage going to be helping me elevate my arms, a couple other things too. So, yeah.
Was your training a lot different this go around?
Yeah. So what was it? So last year I kind of ran myself a little bit thin, at least at the beginning. I definitely overtrained at the beginning. Didn't approach it correctly as in like a gradual progression rather than I just kind of hit the ground running. It was just like, I'm just going to do as many pull-ups as I can per week and then recover when I can. This approach more, I mapped it out 7 months in advance. So I started this, what was that? Back in last March, I want to say, and just gradually increased repetitions throughout week by week, month by month. And, last week was my last heavy set of pull-ups. So I did 6,900 pull-ups last week.
That's wild.
Yeah.
6,900 pull-ups is, oh my gosh.
And you're feeling good?
Yeah. No. So that was another thing too. So last year it was probably about 7 weeks out or 6 weeks out, I think, from my last attempt. I had some serious, dude, people talk about your lats and your shoulders and your forearms and whatever, but mine has always been my biceps. I don't know if it's like my weak link or what, but I think I either slightly strained or had some chronic overuse injury on my left arm because my left arm was pretty jacked up like 7 weeks out last year. And this year I've pretty much had no issues outside of my right forearm. Got a little bit spazzy, weird, but I've been good so far. So
good.
Nice.
I mean, you're doing that much volume, like something's got to pop up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, listen, like I think anybody that does listen to this, like first and foremost, I know in the back of my head, this is not healthy. It's not good for longevity, but like we all got crazy performance goals, right? And we all want to try and achieve something. We only have one body and one life. So I'm going to try and do something crazy. This will be, I'm going to say this on record here. This will be my last time doing this.
Okay. So wait, why do you say that? Why do you say that right now?
Dude, it's just a time commitment, man. Like, my business is growing, which I'm obviously very happy about. I have side hustles going on. I have a lot of other things going on outside of just working out, and training for this is not, waking up and doing something for 45 minutes. It's like, I've been consistently doing 3 or 4 hours a day, every single day for like the past 7 months. Like whether it's sauna, massage gun, recovery tools, doing pull-ups, like just to give you an idea, like on a long day, if you do 1,000 pull-ups, that's going to take you probably anywhere between 2.5 and 3 hours.
Yeah,
and
that's crazy.
So it's just a total time commitment. is the main thing as to why I'll probably never do this again. And it's not good for my body.
Yeah.
Now, are you, no, this is kind of getting like the weeds of the programming. Are you doing other stuff within your program, or is it just like pretty much solely focused on improving the pull up?
Yeah, dude, I was thinking the same thing. Like, how much time are you dedicating to, I guess, in a traditional sense, what you would call like cross training or some other form of just any exercise that may or may not translate over to your pull-up performance?
So one big difference that I made with this training cycle, or whatever you want to call it, is that I actually did not run almost at all. I ran a little bit, but last year I was hammering out miles and whatever else. And it obviously gets you in the cardiovascular shape, but the problem is that that's not helping with, your upper body lactate threshold, not helping with your upper body conditioning. So I recently have been using like an endless rope climb, the ski erg, jumping rope. Like I've incorporated a lot more, I guess you could say, like low impact forms of cardio other than just doing pull-ups. And the main thing difference in is my grip conditioning and my form conditioning.
Makes
Are
sense.
you seeing a big difference in those two?
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, well, and I'll also give another disclaimer with this as well. So when you look at a normal pull-up, generally you're speaking about just somebody pulling up with just their hand. For the Guinness Book of World Record, you are actually allowed to use some version of like a hand strap thing, if you want to call it that, which I used to train last year that I have not used at all this year. Because one of the main reasons where I started the fatigue, or sorry, one of the main places that I started fatigue last year was my brachioradialis or my forearms. So I've been incorporating a lot more fat bar pull-ups, farmer's walks, pretty much grip training, the old school, nice. Sifting your hands through rice, all that crap. I've literally tried anything.
That's wild.
What's your body weight the same?
No. So that was another thing too. So last year I was probably about 10 to 12 pounds heavier than I am right now. And as far as I have not trained legs in 5 months, so I'm pretty much like a dude at the gym.
Yeah.
That's funny.
500 though.
Wait, what did you say?
I said he could still probably pull 500 though.
Yeah.
Mitch, I appreciate that, man, but I don't. I haven't pulled something from the floor in a long time.
Yeah. Oh man, that's such a great memory. Just Ken just like stepping up and just ripping 500 pounds for reps. long time ago, right? Now we're just
my memory's like set of deadlifts and then his heart rate being like 120 and then like 20 seconds later 53. Ridiculous.
Insane recovery. Yeah. So anyway, I have a couple other questions, but what's the biggest difference from, so last time you quit at like 4,216, not quite halfway through, but you were way over halfway into the actual record.
Yeah.
How was that different than your first time? And, relative to what you're going to do this time? What did you do your first time? I don't even remember what you did your first time.
Well, I mean, you guys know me, but some of your listeners might not. I like to just aimlessly throw myself into the fire and kind of see where I'm at. So like most people, David Goggins is always associated with this, which, I understand why. He's obviously a huge celebrity. I saw him do this and I was like, I want to see if I can do that. And then I decided to just literally basically no prep at all, decided to just as I could for a day. I was completely alone in a corner of a gym by myself, nobody else there. So that's what I did.
Yikes. Do you remember how far into it you got?
I actually got like what was that? I got like 4,038 or something like that in 23 hours, and I think it was like 23 hours and some change. So
wow. Even like at that point, well, first it's insane, and two, I mean, to get that without any prep, it's probably in the back of your head that if you train, like you can get pretty darn close. I mean, no. What'd you say?
I was just gonna say, and that's the problem.
Yeah. Exactly. Kind of got like a taste of like, dang, like not that far, and I didn't do a thing to get ready for this.
Yeah.
So that is pretty wild. Yeah.
So you got to tell us how this works with getting Guinness there to like validate this as a world record attempt.
So so there's two ways that you can go about it. There's one way where you pay for Guinness to come out, which is like egregiously expensive. It's like $12,000 or something crazy, which I don't have that type of change sitting around. So basically what you have to do is that you have to apply online. Normally it takes about 12 weeks. Mine unfortunately took way longer than that. It took almost 15. You have to provide 2 different camera angles. You have to have multiple people validating your repetitions that you do. You have to have a log. I have to log if I go to the bathroom. If I step out of the camera, the log that I go to the bathroom. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing this in the middle of me doing pull-ups, but my friend Caleb is going to be there, unfortunately for him, the entire time. So he will be doing that for me. And I'll have other people stepping in and out just to help me out with some things. So it's a process, but I understand why they do what they do. So
then you kind of just submit all your videos and logs and all this stuff, and they just kind of validate and say, okay, yes, he checked all the boxes we asked him to do. And then they sit there for 24 hours and watch all your reps and count them and make sure, right?
Yeah, I mean, the guy that holds the world record right now said that, I think he said that it took like almost a year for his
oh
record.
My gosh.
Yeah, it takes a long time. It's obviously a ton of footage. But you know what? If they're going to make me work that much to show them proof that I did it, then I'm going to make them work too. So
yeah. So are you gonna set the record?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I know I said the same thing last year, but I'm going to keep my head in the game, stay a lot more focused. I have a lot of good people helping me out this year versus last year. And I think the preparation I did, there's not much else I could do physically, I think. I haven't skipped a beat. I've done everything that I could. And ultimately, that's all that matters. So,
yeah, for sure.
And can people like tune in and watch? Like, is there a live feed or anything like that?
Yeah, so my friend who's a videographer kind of helped me out with that as well. So we ran into some issues last year as well because we tried using Instagram Live, which can be a little bit annoying for people. So we're going to have a Twitch stream and a YouTube Live, recording the entire event, and then also a stream that people can watch too.
Cool.
Sweet. We'll make sure to like try to post that also if we can. If we can somehow get in on that, maybe we'll run something live. I don't know. We'll talk
Okay.
off of the cast and try to figure that out. But yeah, I'd love to have that running for us too, if that was possible. But
Sweet.
And then lastly, Ken, do you want to give a little plug for the organization you're trying to fundraise for?
Yeah. So it's the same organization I tried raising money for last year. It's called Hope for the Warriors. It's a military-ran, military-operated, 100% nonprofit that donates all of their proceeds to veterans and veterans' families that have been affected from PTSD.
Yeah, so absolutely awesome. We'll make sure we post all that as well and try to get some people that are listening and following along with HillPursuit, getting them on board with that, because that's pretty sweet. It looked like you already raised a bunch of money.
Yeah,
that's sweet. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. And when is it? When do you actually go for the record? I don't even know if we hit that.
Hard start at 07 a.m. on Saturday, December 10th.
December 10th, 07?
Yep. It's going to be a good time. And oh, that was good. I forgot to mention as well. I decided to start later and get more sleep. So
cool.
Because and I started at 5 and had to wake up at 3 and didn't sleep well and blah, blah, blah. But, that's the past, and we're going to do it again. So,
yeah, dude. I mean, it sounds like you, not that you made massive mistakes, right? Of course, the first time was absolutely silly, but that's definitely a Ken thing to do. But it sounds like you learned a ton from just small mistakes and, small mistakes over the course of 24 hours. I mean, it's pretty impressive that they're just small mistakes, but it does sound like you've adapted a little bit. And dude, I'm getting some good vibes. I feel like this is going to happen.
Yeah.
No, I would agree.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty confident.
Well,
Also,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
oh no, I mean, I was just gonna say, I mean, yeah, it's just I've checked all my boxes this year. I've left stone unturned. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be taking off extra work. Like, I worked myself into the dirt last year. Like, I'm literally doing every single thing in my power to make sure that I am as rested, as recovered, and feel as good as I can leading into this event in comparison to last year. So
that's awesome, dude. Well, we're gonna let you go, and of course, we'll be rooting for you. We'll be following along. We'll post as much as we possibly can, all to our socials. We'll donate. We'll encourage others to donate. We'll try to do everything we can on our end to promote this and get you to that Guinness Book of World Record 24-hour pull-up. That's just insane. So good luck, dude.
thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And as much as I like talking to you guys again, or as much as I like talking to you guys, we will not be talking about this again.
Well, we'll have to talk. We'll have to like decompress after you have the record, though. So.
Oh no, for sure. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying we're not doing any future talk about me doing pull-ups again. I'm sure wrong. I'll have something else crazy popping up in my brain. But
yeah.
For now, I'm gonna focus on that. Thank you guys for having me. Always fun.
Yeah, dude. Good luck. We'll talk to you after it's over. We'll see you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
All right, later, man.
Yeah.
Dude, he's an animal. He's an animal.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I mean, I got I got some good vibes. He seems very, very ready. So that's just like super exciting. Of course, he felt very ready last time, right? Everybody, we know that. We had him on the show last time and he felt ready last time, but it sounds, I mean, he literally outlined, it felt like 5 to 7 different ways that he made an improvement, made a change, did something more intelligently. That's incredible. That's big.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I remember talking to him last year, and don't get me wrong, he's a smart guy. And he definitely probably had a plan last year, but I think it seemed like talking to him this year, a little more calculated. Definitely, like I think he realized. I think the recovery thing was probably huge for him because we both know him. He just goes.
Yeah.
He can recover. I mean, he's a freak. Probably taking that in the back of his head and just really learning from his like what happened last year. Not even that they were mistakes. Sometimes when you do something for 24 hours, you're going to find out things you don't even know, right? So it seems like he's really taken that in consideration. I just, he's the guy that if you know him, like you want him to succeed. Like he's such a good dude. So we would definitely wish him the best.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you're following along, just know that we will do absolutely everything in our power to at least post some updates. If I don't expect him to figure out how to get our YouTube to live stream in addition to the one he's already. You know what I mean? I don't expect him to really do that. This is like his race week, right? He's tapering, so he's got a lot on his plate. But at the very least, we'll be posting as many updates as we possibly can. We'll throw out the links to the donation page. We'll throw links to his live streams and his other social accounts and his business account, so you guys can follow along with Progressive Strength Project and what he's doing there, which is pretty awesome. So just if you are listening, stay tuned for that. That's going to happen. Come down the line again, December 10th. So December 7th?
No, December 10th at 07.
At 7, yeah. I'm pretty sure he told me beforehand that's 7 Eastern.
Is it?
Yeah, or I'll confirm that. It might be 7 his time. 10, that's what it is. It's 7 a.m. his time. He's out in California. It's 10 a.m. Eastern time. So around 9, we'll probably have some updates with when he's starting. 9 o'clock on Saturday, and we'll post that if we can. So but yeah, that was absolutely incredible. I feel like he's going to do it. He's going to set the record. So make sure you do follow along over the course of the rest of this week. Thank you guys for listening. Of course, check out all of HillPursuit stuff on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel. If you're listening on a podcast, we do have a YouTube channel now. You can check out all the episodes. Recently got a LinkedIn, couple other cool things as well. Just today, we didn't even talk about this. Well, we're about to talk about it, but just today we launched the HillPursuit store. So check that. That's in the we'll link that in the comments here. Whether you're listening podcast or YouTube, it'll be linked. So check that out. You can get some gear or merchandise and support the small business. We would appreciate that. And of course, just keep following along. We got some cool things in the works, and we appreciate the attention, the follow, and we appreciate the listen. Mitch, you got anything else?
No, it's that was a good one, and like I said, we just wish him the best. And
Yeah.
I think it's cool for anyone, like he is doing it for a fundraiser. So if you got anything to spare, he said it's all profit. It definitely goes for a good cause. So yeah, that's it.
Absolutely. Thank you all for listening, and we will see you next time.